Hello students, welcome to KANISHKA IAS. This is Reddy, Faculty for Polity, Governance and Public Administration. In today's video, we are going to discuss the recent bribery related scam with respect to the NAC accreditation process, where the visitors from the NAC, that is the committee from the NAC as well as the management of the KL University, got arrested for bribing the NAC members to get the favorable accreditation. If you try to look at the overall context of the Indian education system, why it is important to focus upon the quality. Why? Because India is actually a globalized country. India is adapting LPG, liberalization, privatization, globalization. In this process, India has to become globally competitive in order to attract the investments, because the private sector became driver of the economic growth in the country. So private sector cannot come and just invest in the country until and unless there is a demographic dividend. The demographic dividend is shaped by three important aspects. One is health, second one is education, third one is skill. So hence the education system is very important in order to make our Indian students to be globally competitive and skilled according to the requirements of the private companies. But unfortunately, if you try to look at the placement of India in the global rankings, for instance, the QS World University Rankings of 2025 assesses the quality of education institutions this way, where IIT Bombay secured 118th position, IIT Delhi secured 150th position, whereas IISc secured 211th position. So no Indian institution figured in the top 100 universities in the world. So this exposes the lapses in the governance, not just the human resource quality which is teaching and researching in these institutions. In order to place India in a proper position, the quality evaluation of the universities and higher education institutions must be robust. The agency which is responsible for this assessment is NAC, that is National Assessment Accreditations Council, which was established in 1994. You are able to observe the kind of coincidence where the economic reforms got introduced in 1991 and NAC was established as an autonomous institution under UGC in 1994. So it means we started adapting an independent mechanism to evaluate both private and public institutions, and that evaluation will help the India to stand in the global institutions which are having remarkable educational quality. Then what is the requirement of accreditation by the NAC? Actually, this accreditation process is completely voluntary basis. There is no compulsion. But those institutions which are opting for the accreditation, they generally to get the benchmark quality and aiding the institutions in identifying the area of improvement, so that institutions will get the idea where to improve, and you will also get where they are actually standing. Moreover, the accreditation helps in these aspects. One is the institutions will be able to get UGC funds. Minimum A grade status is important to apply for the autonomous status. The UGC grants autonomous status only when the institution is having minimum A grade. Moreover, it acts as a quality certificate for the institutions to get more attention from the students. Then what is the procedure involved in the NAC? Actually, the lapse in the evaluation process lies in the complexity of the procedure that the NAC actually adopts. The bribery is related not just because of the human tendency to corrupt the system, but also the complexity involved in the accreditation process. In fact, we are actually talking about good governance. Good governance means the governance which will be facilitating the people and institutions to realize their full potential. But unfortunately, here the complexity of the process does not allow the system to function effectively. So we cannot find the fault only with the people, rather we shall also find the fault equally with respect to the complex mechanisms adapted by the government to assess the institutions, especially by the NAC. So this particular process involves a structured process involving 7 steps to evaluate an educational institution. These 7 steps include: one is higher education institutions registering on NAC portal, and after getting registered, they will be submitting institutional information for quality assessment. This is the report provided by the institution itself. Later, the comprehensive report is produced by the institution in the form of self-study report, and it also gives the opinion of the students. Moreover, then the NAC adapts its mechanism right from here. One is data validation and verification. Whatever the data that is submitted by the education institutions in the form of point number 2 and point number 3, the NAC will be starting validation process, and that validation also includes student satisfaction service as well as peer team visit. Peer team visit means the relevant experts. The NAC will be having a pool of experts, and these experts will be preparing a pool of team having the professors and experts. They will be visiting such institution and making the detailed evaluation. And one more important point we need to understand is the selection of the peer team must be a completely a randomized process and computer driven process. Okay, so that there cannot be a situation where the concerned institution shall not be having any say with respect to the composition of the peer team. Okay, and the recent controversy with KLU is associated with the manipulation of the peer team, which will be suiting the requirements of the institution. So they identified who will be visiting their institution. At the same time, they have also bribed with money as well as laptops. Moreover, in the last stage, the grading happens where the NAC will be providing the grades ranging from A++ to D. So these are 8 grades actually be granted. Now you are able to now you are able to get an impression that this is a complex mechanism which will be promoting more of corruption and bribes. So why the bribery case, and what is the bribery case? The bribery case was related to getting A++ status by the KLU, and the bribery case involves selection of their own team of their choice and knowing the members and giving them bribe. It means system got failed to select the proper pool of the experts which are not to be leaked to the university where it gets examined. So that's how the peer team was filled with all known members, so that the known members will be giving a favorable report in favor of the university. Hence we are able to assess the process of accreditation is involved with a lot of complexity, hence giving the scope of the bribery. This point was actually identified by the Executive Council Chairperson, NAC Executive Council Chairperson. His name is Bhushan Patwadar. He identified a review committee. The review committee has revealed that only 20 to 30% of the assessors are from NAC expert pool. In 2022, Bhushan Patwadar has appointed a committee, and that committee has examined why NAC accreditation process is not going well. That committee has reported that out of 100%, out of the entire pool of the NAC experts, only 20 to 30% are able to get the opportunity to visit the universities to evaluate the standards of the educational institutions. This explains there is a manipulation in such a way that only such members who are able to get corrupted or get the universities to get their works done are able to be sent by the NAC. So it means NAC is not acting impartially, transparently and objectively. So there is also a fault on part of the NAC. So that's the reason why in 2023, Bhushan Patwadar has resigned from the NAC Executive Council Chairperson. Not only this, there are other issues. For instance, there is 8-point grading encourages institutions to game the system rather than improving the quality, and over-reliance on peer system leading to bias or corruption, because there is a chance that the known members of the committee may be giving a favorable report for the university or education institution. Moreover, there is also a lack of data validation. In this context, there were various bodies and policies has recommended an alternative approach to accredit the system or accredit the higher education institutions. One of such is National Education Policy of 2020, and second one is the high level committee appointed under K. Radhakrishnan, who was ex or former ISRO chairperson. Both of these two, both National Education Policy of 2020 as well as Radhakrishnan committee has recommended the present grading process must be replaced by binary system of accreditation. What is a binary system of accreditation? The binary system of accreditation chooses only twofold parameters, okay, or twofold recognition, that is being accredited or not accredited. Okay, there is no kind of dilemma, either you are accredited or you are not accredited. So that is how the recognition is given. This eliminates the pressure on part of the institutions. Moreover, National Education Policy of 2020 has given the recommendation for the compulsory accreditation process than the former one. Before National Education Policy of 2020, there was only voluntary requirement of getting accredited. But National Education Policy of 2020 has mandated that every higher education institution must undergo accreditation process. And moreover, there is another parameter added by National Education Policy of 2020 stating that there will be maturity based graded accreditation. The grades will be ranging from level 1 to level 5. Especially level 1 to level 4, the institutions of national excellence will be placed. Level 5 involves institutions of global excellence involves. And as I told you already, there will be mandatory accreditation for all the higher education institutions, so that every higher education institution undergoes proper evaluation to get a proper information to the students, and also placing the Indian education institutions in the bracket of global quality standards. The recommendations given by National Education Policy of 2020 as well as Radhakrishnan Committee are very significant because of these reasons. Number one, they will eliminate the corruption. Why? Because the assessment just will not be based on the expert's opinion, rather the student's opinion, the staff of the college, and even the 360-degree assessment is possible because of the binary system of accreditation. Number two, it encourages the quality because every institution has to undergo the mandatory assessment. Number three, it ensures accountability so that the system will be made accountable, because the complexity does not make the system accountable, rather simplification of the procedure makes the system accountable, so that there will be no scope for the corruption or there will be no scope for manipulation. Moreover, it also enhances the global recognition for the Indian education institutions. So further, it will be helping the Indian education system to be globally competitive. Thank you, and please do subscribe Kanishka IAS for more videos.